The Prime Minister Scott Morrison has used his speech at the United Nations General Assembly to urge all nations to fight the coronavirus together. Mr Morrison has championed Australia's response to the global pandemic and pledged to share any domestically developed treatments. Earlier this week, Australia joined the COVAX facility, a global vaccine pool backed by the World Health Organization. The Prime Minister says nations have a moral responsibility to help the rest of the world.
When it comes to a vaccine, Australia's view is very clear. Whoever finds the vaccine must share it. This is a global responsibility, and it's a moral responsibility for a vaccine to be shared far and wide. Some might see short-term advantage or even profit, but I assure you, to anyone who may think along those lines, humanity will have a very long memory and be a very, very severe judge. Australia's pledge is clear. If we find the vaccine, we will share it. That's the pledge we all must make.
Well, let's check in now with North America correspondent Dave Lipson, who joins us from Washington. Hello, Dave. How are you? Look, this is a virtual UN assembly. We got a snippet of what the PM was focusing on there. Can you take us through some more of the detail in his address?
Yeah, well, good morning. It is indeed, as we've been saying, about so many things this year, something that we've never seen before. The UN General Assembly, which is marking 75 years since the start of the UN, since it was founded after World War II, is being held virtually because of this pandemic. So world leaders from all over the globe have been sending videos in, their addresses to the Assembly there, as you just saw Scott Morrison has done too in front of the Opera House in Sydney. You heard him there at the end, and that was probably the meatiest part of his speech, a real stern warning to the rest of the world that if they, or if any nation or company or anyone tries to profit from a potential COVID-19 vaccine, that essentially history will judge them very, very harshly, and humanity will as well. So he's repeating his pledge that if Australia finds that vaccine, it will share it with the rest of the world. Notable that the US President Donald Trump has not made such a commitment. But Scott Morrison has also talked about the need to find the source of COVID-19. Of course, it's very widely believed to have been in Wuhan, China, but that investigation to confirm it through biological methods is continuing. He's also had some fairly pointed comments towards China in regards to its disputed territorial claims in the Indo-Pacific, the sort of language we've heard before, but here presented to the UN General Assembly. He doesn't mention China by name, but he stresses the importance of adhering to international law, which we all now know is a signal about China's attempts to, in Australia's opinion, breach that international law through its territorial claims and the like. He's also talked about world trade and the need to strengthen the World Trade Organization, but also urged nations all over the world not to turn inwards, to continue essentially to trade with each other, to cooperate with each other, to not only move goods around and thrive as a result of that, but to face and head off some of the biggest challenges facing the world right now.
Well, let's turn our attention to the issue of the passing of the Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She's now broken another barrier, becoming the first woman to lie in state in the US Capitol.
Yeah, that's right. She spent 2 days lying in repose, her casket at the top of the stairs at the Supreme Court. This morning it was moved across the road to the US Capitol, and yes, it's the first time that a woman has lay in state in the US Capitol. It is also the first time that a Jewish person has had that honour. So indeed, breaking barriers. There was another memorial service there this morning. We saw the Democratic nominee Joe Biden pay his respects. We also saw Ruth Bader Ginsburg's personal trainer pay his respects, and he did that by doing 3 push-ups just near the casket. Indeed, Justice Ginsburg was famous for her fitness regimen. But really, this is the last day of that ceremony, and tomorrow the politics really comes to the fore. Now, Donald Trump is going to announce his replacement for Ruth Bader Ginsburg. It is going to be a Conservative. It is going to be a woman, we believe, and there are already reports that he has decided that it will be Amy Coney Barrett. Now, she is a devout Catholic and someone who would be a hero to many Conservatives, particularly in the area of abortion or those who are pro-life. Now, the reports have not been confirmed because there is certainly another contender in the mix, Barbara Lagoya. She's a Cuban-born Florida judge who, if Donald Trump decides to choose her instead, could help him electorally in the state of Florida. And that is perhaps the most crucial state, particularly for Donald Trump. If he doesn't win Florida, then it's very difficult to see him winning this election. So some big calculations being made in the final hours before Donald Trump makes this very significant announcement that will tip the Supreme Court in a conservative direction for a generation to come.
All right, Dave Lipson, thank you so much for joining us.